today's world of high-speed connection, text messaging, and social networking, we often find ourselves searching for information. There are millions of blogs on the internet. News, sports, politics, and tech. But I bring it all together for you and present it in a relentlessly unconventional fashion. My name is Zenny Abraham, and this is the Blog Report. What are the top tags this week? Let's find out. Hey everyone, top of the news, Angus T. Jones. You probably heard of him if you're below 35, if you're over 35, less likely that you have. He's the teenage star of 2.5 Men, the popular show on CBS. Goes on video and basically says that 2.5 Men is filth.
Jake from 2.5 Men means nothing. He is non-existent character. He's 2.5 Men. If you watch 2.5 Men, please stop watching 2.5 Men. I'm on 2.5 Men. I don't want to be on it. Please stop watching it. Please stop filling your head with filth. Please. It's you know, people say it's just entertainment. The fact that it's entertainment, it's do some research on the effects of television and your brain, and I promise you'll have a decision. You'll have a decision to make when it comes to the television, and especially with what you watch on the television. It's bad news.
Here's the irony for me. He did this after Miley Cyrus was on it. In that episode where Miley Cyrus made something comparing Ashton Kutcher's bed to a drill workbench, something like that. At any rate, you might say, okay, where is this coming from? Why does he go on this rant? Well, I think he's been on this path for some time. Remember, he started with a show when he was 8 years old. He's 19 now. And even before this, he made references to his being uncomfortable with the adult stuff, right? So he's growing up. He's apparently expressing some issues with his own sexuality, in a sense. I don't mean a gay straight thing or anything like that. I just simply mean just the sexuality of being a young man interested in women, and how do you express that, and is this right and is that wrong, and not only that, he's going through these issues not in a private space but in a public space, writ large. Hey, don't feel sorry for the guy. He's a millionaire. He makes $300,000 per episode. He cleared up, $7.9 million last year alone, something like that. Don't feel sorry for him. Oh, and why is Angus T. Jones news? Look, it's pop culture. You've got a demographic between 17 and 30 that pays attention to pop culture more than those north of 30, more often than not. And because of digital media, we're all slammed in together. So this is what happens. Angus T. Jones rises to the top. It's news. And the more you talk about it, regardless of whether or not you like it or don't, the more you make it news. That's how it works now. Now, switching gears, John Boehner, Speaker of the House, was raided by naked people this morning. And what's interesting to me is that I don't think John Boehner's seen this many black folks in his office clothed or naked before, let alone his staff. Not only that, I was thinking about the recent decision about 2 weeks ago where San Francisco had said that, hey, actually it was a week ago, no nudity in San Francisco, and I basically pointed to those men who didn't know how to keep their clothes on, or others who had, like women who basically had no business taking their clothes off, that it would be okay if you had hot-bodied women doing it, but we don't in this society. Something to think about. Europe is a little different. At any rate, the point that I'm making is that, oh God, look at those awful bodies in Boehner's office. No wonder he got upset. Yeah, golly. But the bottom line is they're protesting because they don't want entitlements cut. And what I find interesting about this entire entitlements conversation is no one ever talks about defense. I think keep that in mind. And then you might say, well, defense, it puts money into our economy. Not like it used to, because 70% of our defense dollar goes for new products now overseas to have other parts made. Remember, we gave up a lot when we stop building things in the United States, and it's affected our defense industry as well. Finally, the Powerball. I've never played Powerball until I came down here to Georgia this time before. It's up to $500 million. The last time I played a jackpot that large, or almost that large, was when I was here in April, and it was the Mega Millions, and I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 million. So yeah, you bet I'm going to play for the second time in this year, and I think for the 5th time in my life. At any rate, 500 million is a lot of money. What would you do with $500 million? Stay tuned. I'm not going to win. Stay tuned.